Pay.
And welcome. You are tuned into Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports radio station, KCAA, home to the Asian Oprah, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, JioSaavn, Podchaser, Tiki Live, Rumble, and more. Why so many places? Because I want to maximize my splatter zone for more hope and happiness. Because I want you to claim your birthright to be happy 88% of the time. And I call it unconditional happiness, just like unconditional love. People get that mixed up sometimes. They think it's love, no matter what bad things people do, et cetera, et cetera. But in my book of life, unconditional happiness means it doesn't matter what is going on around you, pandemic, no pandemic, betrayal, no betrayal, health, ill health, whatever it is, you can still choose to be happy 88% of the time. And that's why we have no gossip, no scandal, and no K words on this show. No Kardashian talk, no Kanye talk, or whatever he's called now. We want to focus on our own reality show. And that's what we do here. And if you missed my amazing knockout interview round 2, pun intended, with the fabulous Layla Ali, I just was getting some clips from it. And I love the way it was so filled with laughter. And one of my favorite things to do is make you laugh and make my guests laugh. And I was successful in that, I have to say. I loved hearing her laugh in particular. She's so wise and very strong, great role model for all of us who don't necessarily speak up for ourselves. She does that very well with strength, and she still balances out. That word came up a lot. She wants not only to balance out her role as a former boxing champion. It was so funny. Polly and I were talking before the show. He didn't realize she was a world championship boxer in her own right. Not just her dad, Muhammad Ali, but 7 belts, incredible woman. And now she has an amazing line of products to help balance you out. So if you're looking to lose that weight, if you're looking to, more importantly, detox yourself from all of the processed foods, all of the stuff in the environment, if you're going through chemo, if you're going through dialysis, cleanses usually just move things around, as she says. I didn't realize that. But her 14-day cleanse actually removes the toxins. And so please go to LaylaAli.com. She's taken like $90 some off. It's just going for $99. So please do go for that. And congratulations to the winner of the Asian Oprah giveaway on YouTube, who was streaming and paid us a nice compliment about the interview and also won her spices. So if you want fresh food that tastes delicious, then also go there and get her spice blend. She and I are pretty fun, active on Instagram. I'm always happy to see her hearting and liking my stuff, as well as the vice versa, the real Layla Ali on Instagram. And I'm Doc Balance there. So today I thought we would have a little fun. One of the best things about my show is that I get to, do whatever I want for the past 552 consecutive weeks. But I also have time to research things that I don't normally come across. And the way that I do that is I want to give credit to nationaltoday.com. They give me ideas on, what the national day is, and it gives me a chance to go and research things that are important today. And there's three things that are important today, as it is the National Day of. One is World Pollution Prevention Day. So I want to get some facts around where we are, where we have done well, where we are still, we could use some help, and ask you and solicit you for that help. As well, it is International Day for the Abolition of Slavery. I have several colleagues who are involved in those efforts, and I would like to know how things are going with that. And then finally, I was happy to see that it is National Build Joy Day. And, I have an addiction to joy that I feed every day. And I'm hoping that you're going to get that fix with me today. And we're going to look at what brings us joy. It's so easy during this time of the holidays to start stressing out, being anxious, being worried, being sad, being depressed. And I want to use this time to emphasize what brings us joy. So that's what's happening today on Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show. I'm hoping that you will come and stream with me, chat, get involved, give me your 8 cents worth opinion, and we will do that all day today. So we're going to start with our gratitude sandwich because that's what we always do. We'll start with breakfast with me. So 8 specific things that you are grateful for. What are they? Well, if you're being bah humbug and saying there's really nothing to be grateful for, haven't you looked at the news, Dr. Marissa? Don't you know all the things that are not going well? The damage from Mother Nature, the corruption in government, bad things people do to each other. Those are usually the 3 categories in the news, which is why I do not watch the news, or I don't start the day. It's not that I don't know what's going on, but I balance out all the bad news out there with good news. So that's what I am trying to do with our gratitude sandwich. So the first thing I'm grateful for is that I'm alive this morning. The planets did not crash into each other last night. We are here, and every single day is an opportunity to make things right. If you don't think they're right, do what you can. Hashtag be the change. Hashtag feed your addiction to joy. Join my 21-day fast from complaining with Dr. Marissa. You still have time to do that, so that I will pay out $42 to you if you manage 21 days from Thanksgiving to Christmas. That is a way for you to have a good life habit. So many things to do. So I'm grateful that I'm alive this morning, that I have a chance to respect and love and hold and hug and laugh and just be me. The second thing I'm grateful for is that I have running water, toilets. We have a sanitation. There's many countries that do not have that. I have a hot shower in the morning. I have a gym downstairs that I can work out. And that effort since Valentine's Day, I'm now down 31 pounds that I'm super grateful for. I think I'm up to 6 gratitude. 7 gratitude is I get to babysit my grand dog son today, Pablo, and have some fun with him. And then finally, I'm grateful for the opportunity to have this show and to love out loud, talk out loud, and try to get you to drink my rose-colored Kool-Aid to have the best life and the happiest life that you can. So those are my 8 specific gratitudes. Oh, yay, I do have someone here. Oh, Tom Briggs. Love you, beautiful. Love you too, Tom. Thanks for tuning in. What are you grateful for? Besides the fact that you can stream here and pop in the show. Tom is a jewelry maker, and he does really beautiful work. I appreciate, we're going to go to the bottom of the bun. And the bottom of the bun in the gratitude sandwich is 8 things that I appreciate about myself. So Tom is adding an extra gratitude, love, life, and agape. Yes, a fellow agapean. You heard Layla Ali talk about growing up at agape and knowing who we are and whose we are, and that our lives are just a way to express the energy of God, love energy, source energy, joy, all of that. And people that go to agape understand that life is a joyride. That's what I call it, with lots of stops. And it does not suck. All right. I appreciate about myself that I am loving, and Tom agrees with that himself. I am loving most of the time. I sometimes it's not easy to love, and what I've learned from Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith, my big brother Rev, is sometimes we have to ask to be loved through me. So sometimes when people, you remember he came on last week, and I got to interview him, and I asked him, is it possible to love people but not like them? And I was happy to hear that it is possible. You can love people but not like them or what they do, and you can still love them from afar. So I love most of the time, but in the times that I cannot love, I just take a breath and say, God, love through me, because I just can't do it right now. And that might be something that you say during the holidays as you get together with people, most of whom you probably enjoy and some you don't. So Abraham Hicks, law of attraction teaching, focus on what you like and do not pay attention to those things that you do not like. That way you can have unconditional love and unconditional happiness. I appreciate that I am quick on my feet as a thinker. I appreciate that I have overcome the cultural shadow of being an Asian woman that says the nail that stands up is hammered down, which is something that I, really held over myself. I still would speak out loud. I still would do what I would do, but I would always feel some shame from doing so. And I don't know what cultural background you grew up in yourself, but if you have any of that, I know that women more than men are taught not to be so visible on top in the limelight. But thank goodness we have changed that. So that is something that I appreciate about myself. I appreciate that I can find humor in almost everything because I love to laugh. I appreciate that I know how to be appreciative, and that gratitude is one of my foundation tools for a happy life. And anytime I'm not feeling the best, I go to gratitude, and there's always something to be grateful for. And that's a Snoopy cartoon that I like to pop up sometimes. Final appreciation is that I have a good blissipline, and that is stolen from Michael Bernard Beckwith. I love that word. He has his own dictionary. We were joking on the chat love stream on Sunday that there should be an official Beckwith dictionary, and hashtag blissipline is one of those. I know that I won't always feel like doing something, but I can, if I know it's good for me, like working out in the morning, like taking a walk, like eating better foods versus, processed or sugar or anything that might taste good for the moment, but it'll give me some kinds of issues with health. I have the blissipline to do what I don't feel like doing when it's good for me. So that is it for Breakfast with Dr. Marissa. And I hope that you start your day that way. You sandwich your day with the 8 gratitudes in the morning, 8 appreciations at night before you go to bed. That way, your day in between is most likely going to be extremely positive, I challenge people to do that for 30 days when I work with my happiness coaching clients. That's one of the practices that is so important. And even when you don't feel like being grateful, if once you start on that gratitude train, it'll gain momentum. And then you'll be on your way and you will reap the benefits of breakfast, gratitude sandwich for breakfast. All right. Thank you, Tom Briggs, for having breakfast with me this morning. He's so sweet. He wants to make me a rose quartz crystal necklace. I appreciate all of that. And I absolutely want all of you to take all the tools that I offer on this show to help you have an 88% happy life. So thanks for having breakfast with me. And thank you to Tom as well. Okay, here we go. Here's some things we're going to talk about. If you've just tuned in and you're wondering what's going on, who's on the screen, I have been on for 9.5 years. So you should know who I am at this point. And I know a lot of you watch after. Also, I am available on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, and my YouTube channel. So I'm going to invite you all to free subscribe there. That's where I get a little bit of love, money, energy as well to go to my work and my nonprofit. So Giving Tuesday was Tuesday. Thank you so much, D. Noel Clayton. I haven't checked it. I haven't had a minute. We had a bit of a family emergency, so I haven't been as disciplined about going to all my social places for the last couple of days. But I know that you are all supporting. And if you don't have money for a donation right now, that's totally fine. If you shop on Amazon for your life necessities, all you need to do is go to Smile Amazon and buy the same thing. And with that link, Amazon will donate to my 501c nonprofit called 8 Ways to Happiness. It helps kids, teens, and young adults who have temporarily forgotten their birthright to happiness. So you can shop there and also support my nonprofit, 8 Ways to Happiness. The other way to do it is actually to join my 21-day fast from complaining with Dr. Marissa. It's the holiday PPP post-pandemic possibilities version of the fast that I started in 2011. Used to do it every month and then got busy with other things. Something had to give. So now I just do the fast on special occasions. So I thought it would be fun to do it from Thanksgiving Day to Christmas Day. So if you haven't joined that, it's a $21 donation that you can get double your money back on Christmas Day if you manage 21 days without complaining. And it's easier for this version because you do not have to do it 21 consecutive days. You only have to do it for 21 days between Thanksgiving and Christmas. And it is the second. So hopefully you have one. Oh, no, you actually still have 3 more days. You could start on the 4th. Is that right? Yeah. You can start on the 4th and just do 21 consecutive days, or you could practice today and just see how many times you complain. And hopefully you'll get into the, groove of it and stop complaining. I have 3 days now that are complaint free. So I still have a little wiggle room to get to the 25 days, and I'll give myself money back for not complaining. It's a great life habit. For those of you who are looking for something to do that doesn't cost a whole lot of money, this is it for you. If you do not complain, it does come with a warning label. So you may smile more, you'll laugh more at yourself for breaking the no complaint rule. You will have better relationships. People who know you as a complainer will stop avoiding you and ducking into the bathroom when they see you coming. You'll have better relationships because people close to you won't will appreciate you not complaining. And I did hear from a person who was on the fast who actually had better time in the bedroom because their spouse, their significant other, did less complaining, more fun, and better romping in the bedroom. So, hey, there's just no downside to this fast, 21-day fast from Complaining with Dr. Marissa. There is a Facebook group that supports that. So you can go on my Facebook, Dr. Marissa or Dr. Marissa Pay, and you don't have to, I think I maxed out on friends. You can follow and access that Facebook group and join it. I think I took the restriction off, so anybody can join it. And there's a poll there for how much you complain, and you can play there. And I meant to reach out to Amy to see how she's doing. She joined earlier this week to find out how she's doing on the fast. So maybe we can get her to come on Monday to talk about it. Also, let's see, I think that's all on the fast. There are 3 national days that we're going to be talking about when we come back from a quick break. And those are World Pollution Prevention Day and the International Day for the Abolition of Slavery and National Bill Joy Day. When we come back here on Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind. Does the news scare you in the morning? I actually take my phone and plug it in outside of my bed because I know that when I pick it up first thing in the morning, that more often than not, what I'm swiping is not good news. Some of us have forgotten that we can actually use the most powerful tool we have called choice to choose whether to listen to the news or not, or where we get our news. So that's why I'm so delighted to invite you to my show, 8 a.m. every weekday morning, called Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show that focuses on hope and happiness and solutions to problems instead of just ranting and raving about what's wrong with the world and what's wrong with people. Instead, I want you to find out what is good about you, good about the world, and good about our ability to be humankind. So please join me at 8 a.m. every weekday morning for Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show on KCAA, the station that leaves no listeners behind.
New book called 8 Ways to Be Happy.
Many of us say, I am my own worst critic. Nobody's harder on me than I am. And my response to that is, stop it. Why are you doing that to yourself? You have to be your biggest fan, because if you can't at the end of the day say, I did a good job, who is? We don't have to constantly be angry at the things that are wrong. Why don't we choose to be happy about things that are right? We have the choice. That's our muscle. And life is so amazing if we can see it.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And And welcome back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News Radio, KCAA, home to the Asian Oprah, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Spotify, and my YouTube channel, where if you free subscribe, you'll get an alert every weekday morning when I go live at 8 a.m. Thank you for making me the number one 8 a.m. talk in the IE and close to the number one in SoCal. Bill Handel, I'm coming for you. And I am so grateful to be on KCAA, the number one talk station in the IE. And this morning we are doing Headlines to Heartlines. You heard the little promo there where I like to look at things that are going on in the news, get out of the worried prattle in our heads and go into our hearts and see what solutions we can come up with in those things that are opportunities for improvement for us as humankind. Emphasis on kind. And it is International Day for the Abolition of Slavery. So I'm going to do what I love to do, which is doing real-time investigation as a broadcast journalist, as a person who likes to find out what's going on, but in a very balanced way. So I'm not going to go to the, crazy, I am, hair on fire kind of way. But I do like to go and as you can see, I love Google, although I have my favorite niece and nephew work at Google. So in our home, we say, instead of Google it, we say Christina it. And now Aaron works there too. So I'll say, not Karen. Christ Aaron. How's that? Christ Aaron it. So when I say abolition of slavery now on Twitter, it says over 40 million people. And in fact, just an aside, I have not been on Twitter active at all because I have not been crazy about the things that Mr. Musk has been doing on Twitter with his employees, etc. However, what he did this morning and banning the K word I'm not talking about for posting a swastika, I'm happy that he did that. So we are going to mention Twitter this morning. Over 40 million people are estimated to be in some form of slavery, including forced labor, sexual exploitation, and marriages. On the International Day for the Abolition of Slavery, learn about the causes and types of slavery in present day society. So first of all, I'm like stunned because we think that was in the days of the plantations and all that's over, and we hope that's over. But when I watched 13th on Netflix, it was an eye-opener that really our prison systems in America are the modern day slavery. So that was one. And now reading 40 million, that is a significant and horrific number. So let's go to that. Let's see, that's Wikipedia. I'm going to go to endslaverynow.org. And let's see. All right. We all have a role in ending slavery. So this is an organization. So instead of shaking your head with, oh, how can that be? And expressing, oh my, oh horror, what is wrong with this world, et cetera, et cetera. Here's one place that you can go to help. You can donate. You can become a digital defender against child sexual exploitation. Thorn is building an army of digital defenders to fight against sexual exploitation. So I'm going to go to the View organization and humantrafficking.com. So there's plenty that you can do now. You can put up a flyer. I've seen these in the airport. Assisted Assisting Trafficked Migrants in Taiwan is a blog post, Visual Stereotypes for Human Trafficking. Let's go to that as awareness for it. There's a great, to be honest, seeing these images, frustration and anger. This is not just, let's see, the worst offenders are images that women are trapped in jars or vacuum sealed in meat packing trays. These are hypersexualized images exposing naked women wrapped in barbed wire. So the legal definition of human trafficking does not involve that sensationalized picture. Trafficking in persons is the recruitment, transportation, transfer, harboring of, or receipt of persons by the mean of threat or use in force or other forms of conversion, of abduction, fraud, deception. So there's myths that women and girls are trafficked and men's are traffickers. According to statistics, an estimated 21 million people are enslaved today. So there's different than 40 million, but 42.7% of statistics are made up on the spot. But whether it's 21 million or 40 million, it's way too many. 55% are women and only 26% are children. Human trafficking is sex trafficking. It's a huge issue. There are many forms of slavery. 22% only are in sex trafficking, while 68% are in forced labor situations. So let's balance that out. Let's see. The goods that you buy, who is forced to make any of the everyday goods you buy? And I do know that, there was a short film that I saw, a friend of mine, Andrew, does this film festival, Flicks for Change. And I saw one in particular, those beautiful Asian rugs that you enjoy. Most of those are made by children whose fingers are small enough to tie the knots. And they showed, the blood and then getting beaten for bleeding on the rugs. It was horrific, but I'm very much more cognizant of what I'm buying. And when you think you're buying something very cheap, go look at how it's being made. So that's definitely a way. Our consumer dollars are one ways we can end things like child labor. Let's see. Victims are easily identified and want out. I'm talking about, common myths around slavery. If you're wondering why I'm talking about this, it is International Day to End Slavery. Let's see. Most victims are not easily recognized. Many times traffickers have brainwashed victims into believing they deserve what is happening to them, or anyone who wants to help them is lying. While in Greece, we heard how sex traffickers condition women and girls to deny being forced into prostitution. The traffickers would have clients come in and say they were police there to help. If the girl took up the offer for help, they were beaten. Ugh. It's horrible. All right. So here is your, alternative to shaking your head and saying that's terrible. Today on the International Day to Abolish Slavery, you can go just to Google, and just in one click, I was able to find End Slavery Now. There's plenty of other places to go. Modern Day Abolition. It's been outlawed globally since 1981, when Mauritania became the last country to legally abolish the practice. Although chattel slavery, where one person is the property of another, is now technically illegal, it's estimated that 20.9 million men, women, and children are enslaved throughout the world today. Modern slavery is less visible, can take many forms, exploited seamstresses in sweatshops, kidnapped fishermen, child soldiers, labor so deeply in debt that their obligation can never be repaid. Okay, there's another definition I didn't know about. People coerced into commercial sex industry. The list goes on. So hopefully I've given you not just the headline, but the heartline, that there's things that we can do instead of just, hair on fire, the world's going to hell in a handbasket. It's not true. There are things we can do. So hopefully that will be a call to action for all of you. All right, the next one I wanted to do, let's see if there's anybody first in the chat. Okay. The next one that I wanted to do was the day. It is National World Pollution Prevention Day. Let's share that so you can see what I'm doing. And while I'm doing that, I'll give a quick shout out to a great organization, Carlos, yesterday at the American Tires Long Beach on Lakewood. Thank you very much for giving me a great service and great value for all of the new the tires that I needed. So I told them I would give them a shout out because they were so great. So now I am going to World Pollution Prevention Day, which is today, December 2nd. Here we go. This is how easy it is for you to go from headlines to heartlines. This is why I do this, is so that we can stop, just not, it's like there's a balance between not caring at all and then over caring that your entire life is inundated with bad news. So yes, we do have pollution now. Yes, obviously climate change is an issue. We are doing things about it. And how can we do something so we feel like we're doing something, but not necessarily get quagmired or bogged down with the negativity that it often is, what headlines are for, to make you feel bad or to make you feel like the world's going to hell in a handbasket. So this is what I do to combat that and balance out all the bad news. So what can we do? Economic Times, let's see, here's all you need to know. I don't know if that's a balanced place to get my news. And this is another thing that I do, is I look for balanced, nonpartisan reporting of the facts. We can, as we know, during COVID, there was false news, there was incendiary news, and there's news that is not balanced. And I will do this very quickly because it's important enough for me to put in my, here it is, in my handy dandy photos to put up on the screen. All Sides Media Bias Chart will give you guidance on where to get your news. So if you are spouting or sharing news from any one of the far right or far left, know that your news is biased. And as a psychologist, I know that you may have taken this in Psych 101. It's called observer bias. You don't see things as they are. Two people can see the same accident and have completely different reports because you have a bias. So when I do go and do research like I'm doing today for the show, for Headlines to Heartlines, I try to go to places that have a centered or balanced way to report the news. So BBC, I go to, Newsweek, NPR News, Reuters, Wall Street Journal News. Those are the ones that I usually go to. So you notice I Googled first, and then I went to the media bias. So let's go back here, take this off. And you can just Google All Sides Media Bias to get that chart. It's a great chart. Or if you want me to send it to you, just go to drmarissa.life and you'll get free happy tips when you sign up, and just mention that you'd like that media bias chart. And I'm happy to send it to you. So where are we? World Prevention Day. So let's see if there's any news that's balanced. Let's see. CNBC's good. That's our channel. So let's go there. National Pollution Control Day 22. What we need to know. All right. It's observed in India, December 2nd every year. The main objective of this day is to raise awareness about pollution control measures and the prevention of industrial disasters. This day is especially observed in memory of the people who lost their lives in the Bhopal gas tragedy of 1984. I did not know that. Very interesting. So let's see. Let's go back. Let's see if what can we do? All right. News by careers. IIT Delhi's startup NanoClean organizes Delhi Breeze Drive during World Pollution Prevention Month. It's a startup drive to distribute wearable air purifiers to over 50,000 students in New Delhi. Awesome. So if you are a person that kind of looks at India and point fingers and saying, you know, the pollution is so bad, those who have visited there, the air quality, know that you can balance it out, knowing that there are people doing things and, you know, helping. So this is from, I don't think I know this organization, but I like the headline here. World Pollution Prevention Date, no history and significance. We just did the history and what we can do. Let's see. Significance. Due to the various, it's an essential reminder to implement rules and regulation properly to protect the environment and pollution. Gosh, there's a lot of ads here. All right, World Environment Day. I'm going to click through for there. Hopefully you're seeing this. Let's make sure. Yes, you are. Okay. One of the great things about technology. All right. World Environment Day is also known as Eco Day, which has been observed across the sphere to raise and promote the ideas of nature and conservation. Okay, this went back to June. Okay, I will say that there are things that we can do. I know one of the things that I've started doing, not just with recycling, which I hope y'all do. Another thing that some people I hear complaining about the natural products that are coming through because they're not used to them. But I have made the switch to certain things that are better for our environment. I would, you know, the different restrictions that people do around plastics. I know that plastic is not great for our environment. So as much as possible, don't use plastic, straws, lids. Although I did learn there's another documentary on Netflix that talks about, oh gosh, I forgot the name, but the most damage done to our oceans is from industrial fishing. And, you know, I had Rick O'Barry on, dolphin activist, that those are the kinds of things that we can actually do something about. I'm encouraging all of you, if you haven't gotten this already, that when you do hear things that are upsetting, to just do this kind of process. It's very easy. You saw me just go through Google, click through, find the balanced news source, and then go and either donate or, you know, follow one thing. Those are the kinds. Can you imagine? Okay. This is related to the National Appreciation of Joy Day. Can you imagine? And here's Dr. Marissa's challenge for the day, the Happy 88 challenge for the day. The next time you share a post, I want you to stop and ask yourself, is this post gossip about people who, I'm sure they're great actors. I'm sure, their love life, okay? The amount of posts that I see talking about Bennifer and great actors. I'm not giving that up, but the number of posts around the K word, the number of posts around reality shows, the number of posts around things that really, are you going to choose to take your time to share and comment on those things that really, does it really make a difference on my joy, my happiness, my ability to connect meaningfully with my world? Does that post really deserve my time? Time is your most valuable resource. And if the answer is no, then don't post it. Don't share it. Instead, post and share. You'd heard it here today. It's an International Day of the Abolition of Slavery. Post that and post something in specific that you can challenge people to meet you on, donation or what you're going to do about it. Look for people who are doing something about it. Look for, I'm going to forget it, Ashton Kutcher is doing a lot of stuff in this area. Go support him. Post his work. There's plenty of actors who are doing things for humankind, that those are the posts. Can you imagine what our social media would look like when those are the predominant posts that we see and comment on and share on? That's Dr. Marissa's challenge for today. I'm not taking away from reality. Well, I am taking away from reality shows. I'm always, and I hear you. I spent way too much time looking at Bennifer this last, and Jennifer Garner, and because it's interesting, and I get that it's interesting, but really, do our opinions, everybody has a right to my opinion. Do our opinions matter that much for those posts? Does you really want to start that up? I disagree. Ben Affleck should have never. I mean, come on. Let's talk about something that matters. Let's get involved on people that are trying to abolish slavery, trafficking, doing something about climate change, doing something about pollution. All right. That's my challenge. Finally, I want to address that today is, I love the way that they, National Build Joy Day. And I'm just going to go to National Day calendar because they do great work in highlighting these things to celebrate. And that's not the one I'm looking for. National Today. Is this the one? Okay, here we go. Yeah, it's bringing it up. Okay, I'll look at it here. It's asking us to, that random acts of kindness. Well, it's random acts of joy today. So I would like you to just answer this question with me right now. We're almost out of time, but take a minute. If you're driving, pull over. It's going to take 2 minutes. This is called feeding your addiction to joy. A lot of us don't even know what brings us joy, and we don't take the time to ask ourselves that question because we're so busy doing the things that we have to do that we forget that we can actually choose to do things that bring us joy. But in order to do that, we have to actually stop, take a breath, and figure that out. And for me, I did that probably 4 or 5 years ago when I realized that I do love what I do and I'm always on the go and I always have a million things on my plate. But how many of those really brought me joy? And when I did this exercise, I realized I love playing games. And I went to a library, I went to an events calendar, saw games, and began to play games. And I was so delighted to begin that process. And now I spend a half a day every week playing games. So I want you don't have to play games, but I want you to connect right now. Do this with me. Make sure you're not driving. Put your palms up in your lap. Put your feet on the ground. Polly, you can do this with me in the studio. Anybody that's listening now or later, just humor me. Dr. Marissa is asking you to do this. It'll take literally 2 minutes because that's how much time we have left on the show. And close your eyes and take a deep breath with me in through the nose and out. Soft shoulders, soft elbows, soft knees. Another deep breath in. And releasing all the stories and the drama. This is a 3-breath technology with Dr. Marissa. The first breath was engaging your body. The second breath just engaged your mind. The third breath engages your spirit and soul, connecting with me through chi, eternal energy, the breath of life. And just like hang out right there, hold your breath, let it out slowly. And just ask yourself one question now that your mind is clear. What brings me joy? What brings me joy? And if you're thinking about the things you got to do, just bring it back to that breath and just say joy, 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 joy. I'm thinking about people that I know named Joy. Just release that thought and say, what brings me joy? Some of you may be thinking about playing with your dog or holding the hand of your child or going for a car ride down the coast or putting your feet in the sand or playing mahjong or playing Candy Crush or eating one of your favorite meals. I love peanut butter parfaits. That's a treat of mine. That brings me joy when I'm one with my food or whatever it is. I just want you to hold on to that feeling. I'm sure you're smiling now because one of the things about joy is it's a natural smile maker. And I want you to just take one deep breath again. And I want you to take all those feelings of joy and release. Feel them going into your body, into your heart. And I want you to keep them there. They're going to float there all day. And when you're ready, come back to the room, open your eyes. And you have just made contact with your internal joy maker. I would love for you to now, what does that mean? I want more joy in my life. It's 9:00 and I have to say goodbye. This is Dr. Marissa reporting live. It's all about balance, peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. I hope you've enjoyed this challenge show today. Now go and have the best weekend ever. We'll see you on Monday.